Hey guys, so I found this in my house, and what it is, it's a wireless microphone system, and it runs on about 230 megahertz, and what it looks, you talk through this and it receives through that. But I was doing some experimenting, and I have this little thing. This is an ICOM RC6, I think it is, from memory. And if I set it to the correct frequency, then unsurprisingly, if I turn the microphone on and start talking, you can hear that it actually comes out. So what I reckon you could do with one of these, if it's small enough, you could decase it and use it as a makeshift spy device, so a makeshift bug, if you will. So I'm going to open this and have a look. Another thing I'm going to do also is I'm going to open up this unit here and have a look at it, because there's a way to set the frequencies, because I have another unit that has both microphones, which is why I'm using this one. And I have a feeling that you might be able to change the frequency to an extent. So I'm going to just decase this and we'll come back. Okay, so we're in. So this is the internals of the board, and you can see here it was manufactured on the in 2012 on the 18th of February. At least I assume that's what the date order is. And yeah, it's not a very nice looking board. See, there's a lot of looks like acid damage or some kind, or maybe it's just a flux from when they soldered it. Anyway. MP3 out apparently, which is of course not on there, because why would they put such a thing on there? That would actually make this decent. So you can see down here we've got some potentiometers. Now I'm not sure if they control the frequency, but they might. They very well could. Otherwise, I'm seeing some crystals here as well, which might change the oscillation frequency, but I'm not going to swap those out, and I'm just going to try my hope on these pots, which are very close to this, so it might. I'm going to feel around with this and see what I can come up with. I'm hoping by adjusting this, you might actually adjust the frequency enough that it might reach into a radio band that will allow you to receive on. Now, the frequency of this one, if you look at the back, is 232.6 megahertz and 256.3 megahertz. And yeah, there's not a lot around here. Maybe if you're lucky, you might be able to get it down to about 150 megahertz, where I do know that there are some VHF radio stations around here, or you might be able to get it high enough to receive on UHF, but I highly doubt it. So let's see what we can do, and if we're lucky, we might be able to pick up some radio on this thing. Okay, so I just fiddled around with it for a bit, and I have my guitar amp here, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem that there is the adjustment. As you can hear, it's still coming through, but all it does is turn the volume down. Now, it may be a very linear, just tiny and fine adjustment for it, but it actually seems more like a volume pot, so I don't think that's the case. Maybe these chips here control it, or as I thought before, the oscillation circuit there might do it. But yeah, it's not doing a whole lot. So I'm going to just not worry about this at the moment, and I'm going to move on to this, and I'll come back when that's apart. So here we go. I got it apart. Unfortunately, it was a destructive teardown. As you can see, the case no longer exists, but this is the mic. As you can see, it's pretty big. This is like the same kind they use in the microphones for portable two-way radios. So knowing this, you could probably use it as a speaker as well. But I'm just going to see what I can do in terms of putting this back together. It's just two wires, so it shouldn't be too hard. Now, you can see on here, that wire there is the antenna. And I mean, I haven't really had a good look at this board, but I mean, it's got one chip on it. It's got a couple transistors, an LED. That LED could probably go, to be honest with you. It's got a pot. It's got a couple pots, actually. And I bet you one of those is for the frequency. But yeah, there you go. So now I am going to mess around with this as well. You can see this one was manufactured a little bit later. This was manufactured on the 20th of March on 2012. So Yeah, there you go. Other than that, it looks all right. You can see here, this is where the battery goes. I might see about getting rid of this and replacing it with a, what's it called? Just the old 2-wire one for the 9-volt battery. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's not the smallest thing in the world. To be honest with you, I expected this to be surface mount. Just cheaply made. But no, these are actual through-hole components. So I don't know if 2012, if this was cheaper than surface mount, but I would have expected them to be all over surface mount by then. But anyway, I'll see what I can do. I reckon I can put this in a box that will look in, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Indistinguishable, like you won't notice it. So anyway, I'll see what I can do. Okay, so it's back together, and I originally tried it with this mic on it, but unfortunately it didn't work with the circuitry, which is to be expected, wasn't designed for it. But as you can see, if I push this battery in, it is in fact working, so that's good. And so I could probably try and put that in an indistinguishable box now. I suppose this big one would be more sensitive, but we'll see what happens. All right, well, I'll get back to you. I'll see what I can work up. Okay, so on an unrelated note, here is an old Xbox controller that I have. This is for the Xbox One, and I'll open it, and you can have a look at it. It looks pretty neat. There we go. So there we are. Actually, the controller's not in here, but looks like pretty unassuming, right? But as you could probably hear, it feedbacking like crazy because I have an amplifier here, and I'm going to turn that amplifier down so it stops feedbacking. Or it's actually feedbacking on the little receiver. So there we go. So as you can probably hear, I've actually got the mic in up here. You wouldn't even know it, but it actually works pretty well. Now I could probably find a better box for it, but I was in a rush and I don't really give a shit. So here we are. So as you can hear, it actually received pretty well. And even from a distance over here, back here, you can still hear it come through. Not amazingly, but if you had a receiver that could really pop up the volume like this one, then you can hear that it actually is coming through all right. That's over. No, it's what. Yeah, so it is coming through. Not amazingly, but it is. So that's good. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so it is coming through. This must be tuned to cut out all the further away frequencies, but this one isn't. So you can hear me, if I actually have the correct frequency. Give me a moment. There we go. As you can hear with this one, you can actually hear me pretty far away, but the amp can't. And I reckon that there is tuned to with a bandpass to not let certain frequencies through. So that's what I reckon that one is. But that one there is working quite fine. So I'm going to go shove this somewhere and we'll give it a little bit of a test. I also kind of want to test the range, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're back. As you can see, this is on the other side of my house, over that way, quite a bit, and it is still able just barely to receive it from this, and this one can go a lot further, but you can hear I've got the Time Crisis soundtrack playing. It is receiving through, and loud noises, especially doors opening and closing and speech, come through really pronounced on it. So yes, this could be a very good, this could be a way to listen to conversations when you shouldn't. Now, why am I doing this? I am not part of any spy agency and I do not wish to listen to people. This is for educational purposes only. And I did this because I'm bored and we're in the middle of a Sydney lockdown. So, yeah. Anyway, you can hear it. It's quite good. So, yeah. Yep. But yeah, so there you go. It's a way to listen to it. If you think your ex-wife's cheating on you or some shit. Wait, why would your ex-wife? Anyway. If you could do this, if you're bothered enough. Otherwise, if you know what you're doing, you can actually wire a little device under the speakers themselves to turn them into microphones, which is something that actual spy agencies do. They don't do this stupid shit. But yeah, there you go. And remember, this is in the Xbox controller box. So yeah, no one would be none the wiser as to what the hell's going on there. But yeah, there you go. And the soundtrack's probably going to change now. Let's see. And also, I should mention, this is not playing out of my stereo system very loud at all. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, that's not bad. Now, as for distance, it's probably about 100 meters away from me here, or 50. If it was a straight shot, it would probably be about 50 meters away, maybe a bit more than that. However, got to remember that my house is double brick, and it's probably through at least 5 to 6 double brick walls. So that's not too bad. Now, and this is also, if you saw the little dinky antenna wire on it, that's a transmitter wire. Like, they should be a lot longer than that. So I'm surprised it's working this well at all. But there you go. Anyway, this is E-Games. I shall be signing off, and don't use this for illegal purposes, guys. Like, I'm doing this because I'm bored. But anyway, you have a good one.